Welcome back, Nerd Squad. My name is Roya Destroyaa, and this is Top 10 Nerd. Solo, a Star Wars story, is coming out on May 25th, and I know there are a whole lot of you out there who didn't quite want The Force Awakens to be the last we saw of him. So lucky for you guys, this is a whole movie dedicated to the man's life. And lucky for you, we've got some really neat facts for you before you go into the movie. So let's take a look at the top 10 Han Solo surprising facts. In the number 10 spot, his personality was inspired by someone else. He's charming, he's arrogant, he's got a bite to his words. These personality traits weren't just pulled out of the blue, but rather Solo's persona was modeled after a man named Francis Ford Coppola. Coppola was one of the directors of such films as Apocalypse Now and The Godfather. Apocalypse Now was plagued by a tumultuous production period, but Coppola's confidence and vigor saw the film through and inspired George Lucas as he was working on the movie as well. Next at number 9, Harrison Ford wanted him to be killed off. The actor who established his acting career as Han Solo had it in his mind that the right thing to do to culminate his whole story arc would be to kill off this very pivotal character, especially at the end of Return of the Jedi. He was even reluctant to sign on to continue as the character in the sequels because he really wanted to be killed off. I mean, looks like you got your wish, pal. In the number 8 spot is his earlier drafting. When Solo was in development, he looked just a titch different than he did in the end. His first appearance was that of a Eurelian, which are green aliens with gills and slime coats. Hot. The next image of Solo was that of a pirate. Then finally Lucas went with boring old humans so that he would relate better to the other main characters of the series. Why not just make everyone all green sludge monsters? Up at number 7, he did shoot first. If you were wondering why the message Han Solo shot first is so popular, this is why. It's a widely debated topic over who shot first in the famed cantina scene, so let's clear the air. In the original 1977 film, it was clear that Solo shot first without provocation. But the 1997 re-release switched up the scene to Solo dodging the first shot and making his own. So in short, they both shot first. But yeah, Solo technically did shoot first, and that is that. Coming in at number 6 is his gun. Guns aren't the main weapon in Star Wars, but if you're gonna bring a gun to a saber fight, it better be a pretty damn good one. It is called Blastech DL44 and is based off the German Mauser C96 pistol. It's modified to deliver massive damage at the expense of heating up really rapidly, and the prop gun has made other appearances too. Very same gun was used in 1968 film The Naked Runner, where it also delivered huge damage. Next up at number 5 are the other actors who could have played the role. There were a variety of other actors who were considered when the role of Han Solo was being cast. These included Al Pacino, Nick Nolte, Kurt Russell, and Christopher Walken, who both actually got to the screen testing stage. And Billy D. Williams was considered as well. He ultimately got the role of Lando, but at least he got in the movie he wanted. And then out of the blue, Harrison Ford. Up next at number 4 is how Ford got the role in the end. So in a sea of talented actors, how did Harrison Ford get the role in the end? Well, he barely even tried. In fact, he was working as a self-taught carpenter back when he would stand in and help out during other people's screen tests by reading out lines. Apparently he read out lines real well, because one day Lucas offered him an audition and it proved to be the audition that changed his life. In the number 3 spot is his wife, and it is not Leia. Just like any comic book character, Han Solo went through a variety of treatments in the comic, one of them being him as a married man during episode 4. Her name was Sana Starros, or as she claimed to be, Sana Solo, because she claimed to be married to Han Solo. It turns out the marriage was part of a robbery scam they tried to pull off together, and he now denies her as his wife, even after she tracks him down across the galaxy to confront him. Sounds like love to me. Coming in at number 2 is his crossover, The Unknown. Yet again, like any good comic character, what's a comic without a crazy crossover? There was a 10-page comic crossover called Into the Great Unknown, and what happens here is that Chewie and Solo crash landed into Earth. 126 years later, Solo is found by none other than Indiana Jones, or at least what's left of Solo at that point in time, and Jones is in search of the formidable and fabled Sasquatch, who turns out to be Chewbacca, alive and well. It's a Harrison Ford dream come true, kind of. Would be better if Solo was still alive in it. And finally, in the number 1 spot is his stepfather. We get shockingly little info about who Solo's parents were. In fact, all we kind of know is that his parents were Jonash and Jaina Solo, and that they disappeared from his life early on. However, his stepdad seems to be an important figure, or at least he did. The original ending of The Empire Strikes Back had Solo setting out to find this mysterious man named Ovan Marikal, who had a lot of power and influence in the galaxy. Perhaps the new movie will touch on who this guy was, or it was just a throwaway idea never to be heard of again. So those were the top 10 Han Solo facts. Let me know in the comment section down below who you want facts on next. My name is Roya Destroyaa, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another nerdy list.